Caitlin Clark, so good with her dribble, keeping it alive.
Clark still looms large in her hometown. The other day I went downtown looking for eagles but instead found a hawk. There she was, hovering over Court Avenue like the smell of a breakfast burrito at the downtown farmer's market, a giant Caitlin Clark. Kind of like an Iowa Godzilla, minus the destruction, unless you are the Indiana Hoosiers, the Michigan State Spartans, or any number of other teams. With its message of you can't win. So win. The banner is an extension of the Nike ad that ran during the Super Bowl. The banner covers most of the west side of the Court Avenue Restaurant and Brewing Company building at 309 Court Avenue to mark the occasion. The restaurant has a special cocktail and a From the Logo burger special. On a neighboring building, there is a second banner of Clark, minus any message. Women's sport isn't the future, it's right now. We're seeing it in packed arenas, in TV ratings, in the way people are showing up for the game like never before, basketball star Sabrina Ionescu said in press materials for the ad campaign. Commanding attention isn't about being the loudest in the room. It's about making sure that when you step up, everyone takes notice. Among those also featured in the campaign are USC basketball star Juju Watkins, track Olympian Sha'Carri Richardson, Olympic gymnast Jordan Chiles, and WNBA star A'ja Wilson. What I do know is that there was a gorgeous and cinematic commercial featuring female athletes during the Super Bowl. Because they have marketability. Because they have clout. Because they have name recognition. Because they are part of the culture on the day of the big game, just like Doritos, Budweiser. Because people can walk down the street and see a giant image of a female athlete who is the biggest star in the country, regardless of gender. Sounds like a win to me. Hate Chicago like she hated Nebraska, fans react as Caitlin Clark's record-setting streaks paralleled by Juju Watkins' 30-point explosion. USC Trojans star Juju Watkins dropped another impressive 30-point performance against the UCLA Bruins on Saturday, setting a record streak that drew parallels to Caitlin Clark's college career. Fans reacted to the historic performance, pointing out Clark's seemingly unbreakable records from her 4 years at Iowa. According to ESPN's Alexa Philippou, Watkins' fourth consecutive 30-point game against UCLA is tied for the third longest streak versus a single opponent in Division I since the 1999 season. The two longest streaks are held by Clark, who did it against two different schools. The Iowa Hawkeyes legend scored 10 straight 30-point games against the Nebraska Cornhuskers and 5 consecutive versus the Minnesota Golden Gophers. It should be pointed out that Caitlin Clark faced Nebraska 10 times in her career, which meant she never scored below 30 points against them. As for Minnesota, she played them 7 times, scoring 30 points in 5 straight games and 6 in total. Some fans are hoping that Clark would treat the Chicago Sky the same way she treated Nebraska in her college career. I hope she comes to hate Chicago like she hated Nebraska, a fan said. How did CC even play 10 games against Nebraska, let alone drop 30 every time? Another fan said. WTF did they do to her? One fan said. Caitlin Clark had a historic career at Iowa, leading the Hawkeyes to back-to-back NCAA championship games in 2023 and 2024. Clark also set the record for most points in NCAA history, breaking Pete Maravich's all-time points record. Iowa rightfully honored Clark on February 3 by retiring her iconic number 22 jersey. 10 straight is just being mean, a fan said. Caitlin Clark's unhinged hatred of Nebraska is the most Iowa thing about her, another fan said. While Clark hasn't had the same impact on the WNBA in terms of her scoring, she proved that she belonged after finishing her first year as Rookie of the Year. She was even 4th in MVP voting, despite all the doubts before she became a pro. Caitlin Clark set to return to Iowa in an exhibition game. The Indiana Fever are scheduled to play an exhibition game against the Brazilian national team at Iowa Hawkeyes Carver-Haway Arena on May 4th. It's part of the Fever's preparation for the upcoming 2025 WNBA season, with Caitlin Clark set to return to her alma mater. According to Fox News, the tickets for the game quickly sold out despite the soaring prices due to Clark's popularity. A total of 15,000 were quickly sold, expecting to fill out the arena in 2 months. The Fever will have an overhauled roster following the addition of Sophie Cunningham, Yellen Brown, Natasha Howard, Sydney Colson, Julie Bonner and Brianna Turner. They also retained Kelsey Mitchell and hired coach Stephanie White to take over. Iowa won another Big Ten matchup on Monday, defeating Nebraska 81-66. It was the second time this season that the conference foes met, with the first game resulting in an 87-84 overtime win for the Cornhuskers on January 16. Hawkeyes senior guard Lucy Olson recorded 14 points, 3 short of her 17.0 points per game average. She shot 6 of 15 and made just 1 of her 6 free throws. In Monday's matchup, Olsen looked like a different player. She scored a season-high 32 points, and her 7 assists and 6 rebounds were both above her season averages.
So if we're in foul trouble, I'm not worried because we're just a really deep team, and our freshmen are good. Everyone that came off the bench really played well, and again, like, everyone works so hard in practice. Like, I just trust everyone, and when the coaches put someone else out there, but then I think after they got a nice rest on the bench in foul trouble, that helped us in the second half. So yeah, Hannah came back in great, and yeah, no, it was awesome.
All right, congratulations. That's 5 wins in a row. Big win tonight. Congrats.